Today, I want to tell you about the National Institute of Organizational Development and Design. This National Institute of Organizational Development and Design is a mechanism that is vital to the development of Sri Lanka. If you prefer, you can call it the Sri Lanka National Institute for Organizational Development and Design. Why do we need such an institute? We need such an institute because it is a very fundamental mechanism in the rebuilding and development of this nation. It is an institution that can engage the vital task of organizational development. And organizational development also includes the development of the people involved in the running of these organizations. Now, why is this institute important? Let us go back in history to the end of the Second World War. Japan had been an industrial power, but its economy was in ruins, and so was its infrastructure. Japan had to be rebuilt. And that was when the job of rebuilding Japan was entrusted to an American scientist by the name of Edward Deming. Those of you who are familiar with organization development will recognize the name. Edward Deming used his expertise in the field of statistics to redesign the organizational structure of Japanese industry. And the outcome was that within a few decades, Japan emerged as a leading manufacturing base for the whole world. That was what organization, development and design did for Japan. About a decade or so later, at the end of the Korean War, Korea found itself in a similar situation to the one that Japan found itself at the end of the Second World War. And the then Korean president asked the President of America for help to set up a national institution. And that national institution was a national institution of science. And the President of Korea was able to win the collaboration of Korean scientists all over the world because that institute of science was able to give these scientists the atmosphere and the facilities that they enjoyed in the best of universities abroad. If we do not have a national institution of organization, development and design, we will not be able to develop our organizational structure in such a way that it is able to give the best of intellectuals the kind of atmosphere and the kind of freedom within which they require to work. The president very rightly extended an invitation to Sri Lankan intellectuals abroad to return and help develop the country. But the president said nothing, not a word, to the effect that our organizational structures will be changed in a way that will give them the freedom to work in the way that they work in institutions abroad. This is a serious problem. No intelligent person, not even a semi-intelligent person, will consent to the kind of organizational cultures that prevail in our local Sri Lankan organizations. The kind of cutthroatism that goes on, backbiting that goes on, what they call in the Sinhalese language, pulling of the leg, where everybody conspires to hold back and to pull down anybody who tries to engage in innovation and move forward. That is not the kind of atmosphere that any intellectual is going to come and work in. Unless the president is prepared to commit himself to the development of these organizational structures in such a way that they generate a completely new organizational culture, nobody is going to come back to Sri Lanka. And in fact, anybody with any kind of capacity in Sri Lanka is going to run away to another country where they can work freely without interference from 1,000 busybodies who know nothing about what they are doing. That is why we need an institute of organizational development and design. This is a serious matter because even the private sector, the corporate sector, is riddled with some kind of organizational, I'm not really quite clear what to call it, but it is a kind of organizational degeneration. It is a sort of weakness, and I can describe it. It is all about personality driven structures. You find that organizations function according to the whims and fancies of personalities. One has to anticipate what one's boss wants done and how he wants it done and do it that way. There is no process to follow. Please understand that there are a few exceptions, notable ones, and they have my respect and regard. But most of our corporate structures are terrible. There are no processes. There are no process manuals. And if there are process manuals, they have process manuals that have been drawn up by some consultant and they are ignored. They are locked away in some drawer somewhere and forgotten. And people do as they please. People are constantly firefighting. And there are these personalities who drive the organization, supposed to be efficient, competent, capable people. My foot, these are autocrats. They spend their time screaming at others. They spend their time cutting people's throats to make sure that they don't compete with them. They spend their time keeping people down rather than pushing people up. These are not the kind of people that can build a country. These are petty, mediocratic people who should not be anywhere near the positions that they hold. There are two options. One is to encourage the emergence of new organizational structures. The other one is to train these people and show them how they have to run their organizations. Now that is what I hope the president will do, that he will set up an institute for organization design and development that can train these people and help them to change the structures of their organization. Let me tell you, right down from government, this is a task that has to be done. Because an organization runs on its policies and its objectives, and the structures have to be configured in a way that these policies and these objectives will be the outcome of their functioning. It is as simple as that. We don't need any big, highly educated, great people who are supposed to lead these organizations to their objectives. No. It is the organizational structure and the internal processes of those organizations that lead to the achievement of the objectives and the implementation of the policies as an outcome. It is also the same with government. But this simple fact appears to be so difficult to understand as far as the people of this island are concerned. And there is a reason for this. I have said this before. I am saying it again. It is because their national average IQ of Sri Lanka is 79. And an IQ of 79 means that you are what they call borderline mentally retarded. You are just on the fence. And the direct outcome of this being just on the fence is that you are untrainable, what they call untrainable. So you cannot follow processes. Now, fortunately, this is the national average. That means there are quite a few who are above the national average. Now, it is these people who are above the national average who we can train and who hopefully will be able to reconfigure the organizational structure of this country. To do this, we need this National Institute of Organization Development and Design. I know there's no point in my telling you this, and I know that there are some of you who already know this, but there are also a lot of you who don't. And I'm not just telling you this. I have written this down and I have sent it to the President. I have sent it to the Prime Minister, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, who portrays himself as one of the most intelligent people in the country and who should have no difficulty in understanding this, though he may have difficulty in implementing it. I have sent it to the Minister for Finance, and I have sent it to this Minister, Mr. Harsha De Silva, who portrays himself as one of the leading intellectuals of this government. He should have no difficulty in understanding this. So I have sent this to the people whom I think can understand the importance of this mechanism and who can do what it takes to create such a mechanism. So this is also one of the things that I'm advocating, and I strongly suggest that those of you who understand the need for such a mechanism also join in this process of advocacy and keep persistently pushing the President and the Prime Minister to generate this National Institute of Organization Development and Design. And when I talk about this National Institute of Organization, Development and Design, I am not talking about a building. I am not talking about just one other institution that sits in Battaramulla, in these big, beautiful complexes where government organizations are housed. I am talking about a structure that supports a process. That means there is, of course, going to be legislation which designs this process, and there is going to be a regulatory framework that drives this process. What is this process? Essentially, it is going to be a process of training that is completely decentralized and that goes right down to the level of districts and divisional secretariats. It is going to train people who run organizations. Initially, we are concerned about government organizations, but we are also concerned about private organizations. So we will ensure that there is a track that engages the private sector as well. And there will be incentives. Organizations that incorporate and function according to the principles that we are introducing. Very simply, organizations that are process driven and not personality driven, and that can demonstrate objectively that they are process driven and not personality driven, may be given some special facilities and may be given some priorities in accessing existing facilities. I will be personally very interested in the special facilities, because organizations that are process driven can be entrusted with certain responsibilities that we cannot entrust personality driven organizations. Organizations that are process driven have certain functional capacities that organizations that are personality driven simply do not have. So, the outcome of this National Institute for Organization Development and Design will be, I hope, the emergence of competent, effective organizations that together form the heart of the organizational structure of this nation, and which therefore form the foundation of the developmental process, and thereby enable us to take the developmental process to levels of functioning that are far higher than anything that we have seen before. And I sincerely hope that the President and the Prime Minister and their government will accept this task and successfully achieve it.